And welcome to another episode of Skip the Noise Podcast, a Rounded Age Media production. And as you can tell, we don't have Benji here again with us today.
Yeah, he's not there, but we do have cool intro music that I just
No, yeah, that's great.
It is pretty sweet. So you both apparently with the missing of the enchanting Benjamin James, you do have myself, Mexican Nostradamus, and you do have the Brian Python, Rick over there. So we will be bringing you forth to the new news and whatever the fuck's going on right now. So we are going to touch on.
And the vivacious beats of Mike Tacklebox. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I think we're going to touch on a couple of things tonight. We're going to look at Trump's going to get love from the homies.
Oh boy.
A whole lot of alien shit's going down. And is anybody else getting deja vu 2016 vibes from all the people entering the Republican nomination for president? Anybody else getting those vibes? Because I sure
can. What are you talking about? Chris Christie?
Yeah, everybody's it's like usual suspects. All you need is it's just gonna be Trump. He's just gonna Kaiser Soze everybody and walk out of the room. Yeah, I you're seeing that, but just to kick this one off, because I think the most fucking crazy news right now, and this is coming from the UFO fanatic, is what's going on with all this alien shit right now, which is just madness. It's fucking madness. It's so crazy. So just to let everybody know, if you're living under a rock, or if you're mainly getting most of your info from the mainstream media, currently there is a military whistleblower who has gone public with claims that we have a secret UFO retrieval program, and that we have a definite number of them, 12 of them. He's asking for, and apparently this man, his name is Dave Charles Grush, who is a 36-year-old decorated former combat officer in Afghanistan. 36. Right, served in the National Reconnaissance Office, acting as a representative to Congress on the UAP task force from 2019 to 21. At the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, he served from 2021 to 2022. As co-leader of the Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Analysis and its representative to the task force, which was recently renamed the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. So basically, a big military bigwig came out and basically stated that the United States is actively hiding a program, and that we have captured vehicles not from this earth, with a number 12 of them, which is important because
not
he's specifying. Yep. And of course, did he bring the hardcore evidence and everything? Yes and no. He basically named sources and basically said, this is what he's been told. Now, since this has dropped, there has been over 12 to 13 other people that have joined in him. The big deal about this, that's pretty kind of crazy about it, is that none of this would have technically been legal until the whistleblower protections just came through last year after the previous UAP conference. So right now, we have an individual stating that we have 12 alien spaceships. And not only that, but this has been going on globally, that other countries have it.
Just want to put some context to this.
Yeah.
Between a guy who is a bullshitter and a whistleblower.
Right.
A whistleblower typically would obliterate his career by whistleblowing.
Right.
Okay. So he has skin on the line. He could have just kept his mouth shut and gone to work every day and come home and not tell the damn world about anything. But if you're a true patriot of this country, and something wrong is happening, something is not right, you whistleblow at your own expense, at the risk of your career and your credibility.
Oh yeah. Well, also in this particular situation, he's also at risk of perjury.
Oh, and the risk of perjury, exactly.
Like this guy can go to jail if he's full of shit. So apparently he's been let know by multiple sources, including several that have now corroborated what he's saying, because they are saying they have heard the same stories and things, that we have an active, that we've retrieved alien spaceships our spacecraft. I mean, this is fucking like huge. This is probably one of the biggest. I mean, let's be honest with you. If this shit pans out, this is what the biggest story ever.
Yeah, dude, it's confirmation that we're not alone, and we have technology that's beyond our understanding. I mean, think about it. We have anti-gravity technology on Earth right now.
Yep.
Because of our Neanderthal minds, we don't know how this shit works. But you know what it is though? Here's the thing though. So I remember listening to Bob Lazar on Joe Rogan.
Right.
And he was saying that a huge obstacle to finding out how these things work is that they section off the scientists. They don't allow them to talk and collaborate. Right. So while the parts within a UFO may be working in conjunction together, the teams are separated. They can't speak with each other about their findings. So you end up you only reach a certain point in research, and then you stop because you don't know how the next component works. Okay, because the other team's working on it because they're not allowed to talk to each other. Right. But hopefully, let's just say this whistleblower turns out to be true. Congress looks into it. Yes, we have UAPs, and maybe now the world can go in and actually study this and have real scientists go in there and collaborate as to how this thing works, and we can finally have what we're looking for: anti-gravity, lights, space travel. I mean, the possibilities are endless when you bring more people into it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right. And this is huge. I mean, this the reality is so the reality of it is the more unlikely outcome is that there's human beings who have come up with this technology, right? That's the crazy part. Like, if there's a human being or a government that's that far ahead of us, then we're really fucked, right? Once you almost prefer it come from aliens, but basically, yeah, we have craft that we've captured, and some are stating as early as World War II that's what some of the claims are, that have abilities we can't explain or we don't understand. So this isn't going on for 50, 60 years. This is the story, if true, of course, if it pans out. This is probably the greatest story ever. And to kind of put this one, and I don't want to exactly put it up, but just to linchpin it. Last month in Las Vegas, of course, what close to the most famous of all alien areas, Area 51, there was an incident.
Alien 51?
Yeah, Area 51. I mean, basically, it should be Alien 51.
Yeah, it should be.
But right by Area 51, there was a crazy incident. So if anyone knows, you can actually watch the video. Just type in Las Vegas alien event. And basically, what you're going to see is a local news channel broadcasted a 911 call from a home that said, "Hey, look, I'm looking. Something landed in my backyard, and I'm looking at two things that are like 8 or 9 feet tall with big eyes."
Holy shit! 8 or 9
they're
feet
definitely
tall?
Not. Yeah, he goes, "They're definitely not human beings." And so the 911 dispatcher is like, "Okay, you have two subjects in your backyard. Are they like, just kind of going through it?" "Okay, sure, buddy. Great." And this is official 911. So this guy really called 911, which, has its own
legal implications.
Legal implications. Nonetheless, says there's a 9-foot tall alien, 2 of them in his backyard, doesn't know what the fuck to do. Please send the police. They're freaked out. Well, what happened around 10 minutes prior to that, there was on body cam, some police officers had their body cam on. It's funny. I think they were dealing with like a domestic dispute. But,
oh man, 2 units were hitting each other. Fuck, man.
No, right. I know the fucking aliens they can't handle the drink. That's why they crashed it. But no. They're responding to another call, and on one of the cops' body cams, you see in the sky a bright light, like crashing towards Earth, and it almost had a Chernobyl effect. So it had a blue plume along it. This wasn't like an ice meteor. This was like a blue. No, because the way like I said, it had a Chernobyl effect. It had that blue plume of like energy around it. It was very, very, very fucking different. And the cop, you could tell they just kind of stopped and go, what the fuck is that? Well, nonetheless, 10 minutes later, that's when these people call and said, dude, I got 2 fucking 8-9 foot aliens in my backyard. They send the cops over there finally an hour after the call.
An hour?
Yeah, a fucking hour.
Dude,
Good
come
going.
on.
Cops get there, but the cop is like, yo, you can hear him on his body cam, like, look, seriously, I have some fucking butterflies in my fucking stomach because multiple witnesses, and now it's been confirmed, 21 witnesses, including body cam on police officers, saw this aerial event in Las Vegas. So now this is totally confirmed that this aerial event occurred. So he's like, yo, I just got a call from some other officers basically saying like, there's something that looks like a crash landed over here, like from space. And now I'm getting a call that there's some aliens in the backyard. Crazy part was, as the officers entering the backyard, the video stops. And then the Las Vegas Police Department says, because it's the person's private property, we don't
fucking way.
Shit, we don't show people's personal private property.
Oh, no. I'd be like, that's my property. Show that fucking video. I want to see those goddamn aliens.
Right. They didn't do it anymore. Fucking crazy. So the video abruptly ends. Now, crazy part is the family initially was saying, like, when they were talking to the cops, oh my God, like, dude, there was fucking 10-foot aliens, et cetera, et cetera. Now, after consulting with federal people, their story has changed.
No fucking way.
Dude, I'm telling you, this is some Men in Black shit. And it just so happens after this, I think a week or two later, is when the initial request dropped at Congress. And then, of course, the story broke very quietly because these 2 reporters who actually broke the story, I believe, actually worked with the New York Times or the Washington Post. The people that are bringing the story are actually very respectable. And if you read the actual story, they actually have some crazy shit where, like, they actually even publish a paper to scrutinize their article. They actually brought people to scrutinize their data and their documentations, etc. These guys, I'm telling you, these motherfuckers really believe what they're writing.
Yeah.
And now it's everywhere. Now no one knows what the fuck to say. But the truth be told, there was a massive alien event in Las Vegas. And now we have this. There's a lot happening.
What's happening? Are they being drawn to something? I mean, are they looking for something? I think we have
disclosure. I think we have disclosure. Or something. It's coming. I think there's events. I think that we saw this with the formation of the UAP task force. I think there's events that are going on. Who knows what it is? Where it's no longer feasible to hide it anymore. Yeah. I mean, dude, not to throw on my conspiracy hat, but I remember a long time ago when we talked about when COVID rolled out, we talked a lot about aliens, and that was part of the COVID phenomenon. People don't forget was the initial disclosure event about, UAPs and that. Well, there were several.
Yeah, the Navy video over San Diego. Yeah,
and I even batted around. Hey, I like to bat around things that a lot of people, maybe that one way of making people prepared for visitors was to inoculate them. Remember? I mean, we even threw that around about the COVID shot. Like, hey, maybe that's why they're want everyone to take it, but because, when ET comes, he may have some fucking germs that will fuck us up. I mean, either way, something's happening. I don't know if hey, this could be some massive elaborate ruse from the government, disinformation, or the most scary thing could be that there's just fucking human beings that have technology that our greatest scientists don't understand yet.
That's the thing, though.
which,
Okay,
you know,
here's the thing. If the United States has 12 unidentified, UAPs in their
right.
possession, what about China? What about
Yeah,
Africa?
exactly. See, that's what they're claiming is that they
You
have
know,
theirs also. They've captured them.
what about Russia? Russia has a huge landmass. You don't
Same
think they've
thing.
had a
They've
crash
captured
there?
them. They're saying all of them have captured some. And it's a race to capture and to discover more, because I think the problem is that the technology is so advanced. It's like dropping a 747 on a bunch of cavemen. It's like, say, it's shiny, it makes noises. We don't know what we don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, imagine a caveman looking at a 747. He wouldn't know what the fuck to do with it. To be quite honest with you, he would probably worship it. I mean, that's about all they could do, because there's no
Yeah.
way a caveman's going to understand that. And I'll be honest with you, if there's technology that can go from star to star within relative lifetimes, then it's technology we can't even comprehend. Like, we don't even understand the physics of that shit yet. Hell, we just got a fucking telescope to tell us that, a lot of people understand, but the fucking Big Bang Theory is going away. Like, there's a lot of fucking problems with the Big Bang Theory now. There's a lot of things going on with how we see the conception of our universe. There's a lot we don't really know. And so that's what I'm saying. Now we're in the situation where we see all this possibility. We see all these spacecraft. We see everything going on. We may actually be at the front of it. Isn't that crazy? It's fucking wild. I'm excited.
That's weird.
I'm getting pumped. I think the more of this we're seeing, this is way different than the 50s and the 60s when you first had the UAP phenomenon, which was actually pretty big, because I think that's when we really started seeing them.
Yeah.
And the misinformation from country to country to try to prevent us from getting them, stuff like that. This is a lot going on, right? There's something big happening. So I don't know.
That makes me wonder something.
Huh.
That makes me wonder something. Like, what kind of society do we have going on, where we have two different forms of government?
Right.
We have Congress and the three branches of government. Then we got this shadow government. We have a shadow government like the military.
Right.
So, and I think that they're completely different, because I think that the military side will not respond to Congress. They will not respond to the people. They're doing their own thing. They're their own society.
Right.
The only thing that they share is the taxpayer base, and that's it.
Right.
So if this whistleblower comes out and tells Congress, "Hey, I saw UAPs," what the fuck is Congress going to do?
Well, that's the big thing. That's what this whistleblower is trying to say, is like, yo, so there's clandestine programs, but they still have to report to Congress. This has not even surfaced to Congress. But the truth is this type of information, right? This is it's a whole different level of information, right? I mean, this, I don't know. And I was listening to Breaking Points today, which of course was a very good one. He was talking about that, and he kind of countered some of the arguments about government, not being able to keep the secret. He goes, "Shit, dude, the Enigma machine that was broken in World War II. We didn't talk about that until 1976. Like, no one knew we had done it until the 70s. We still don't know who really killed JFK. I mean, there's secrets that, if they mean enough, will be kept. And to be honest with you, there's probably a very, very, there's probably there's some type of secret clandestine organization in our government that actually supports this. Right.
Dude, we don't even know what happened. There's still classified documents for 9/11.
Exactly. I mean, fuck, you know what I'm saying?
What are they classifying?
Exactly. Like, what do you, exactly. This happened. It's a building that fell down.
Yeah, two buildings that were crashed by 20 hijackers. Are you trying to figure out who knew what? Is that what you're trying to classify? Because I think I know who knew what.
I'm sure. Yeah, we know. Yeah. Unfortunately, that was just Yeah. There's just so many people had to die. So sad. But nonetheless,
Yeah.
this is a big story. It's still developing. I think we're going to hear a lot more about it in the next couple of weeks. Do I want disclosure? Yeah, it'd be fucking great. For humanity, I think for everybody. I think it would finally wake us up.
Yeah.
If we knew that there was something else out there and that we're not the alpha series anymore. We're not the alpha predators. We become like the penguins, dude. We'd be circled around in the cold because we know that there's something meaner out there. So I kind of hope for disclosure, just for the hope of humanity, that we do learn that there are something else out there and that we're not alone, and that we need to really rely on each other, because if not, this thing's going to fuck us up. Right. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of optimistic about it. I really hope that something cool like that happens, but you never know. Human beings are kind of dicks, but that's the big story going on. So just everyone kind of keep your eyes to the sky and keep your ears to the Skip the Noise podcast. Because as soon as we hear something, and I mean, we may even break into to singles if we hear any more else happening about this, because this could possibly be the most important story ever. Really? I mean, like literally ever. So we'll be hearing more about it. I just really hope somewhere there's a definitive piece of evidence, whether it be an alien ashtray or whatever it is. So we'll see. We shall see. But who else is going to need plenty of evidence is Trumpy Trump.
Oh boy.
He has been indicted of 7 counts of obstruction. Let me read them out. Let's see. Yep. He's been yep. So Trump faces 7-count indictment in the classified documents probe. He has also said an Espionage Act violation is among the charges.
Dude,
this is fucking crazy.
Do you understand what's going on here though? Do you see it or no?
Well, no. Okay, look. Okay. Well, you go and go, because I have my opinion about this, but yes, go and go. What do you think?
This is coming from the FBI. The FBI. This organization who came up with the Russian collusion hoax. They came up with the Mueller investigation. The Durham report eviscerated their credibility because they knew that this was fake, and they pursued it anyway.
Right.
Okay. You're telling me that we're supposed to trust the FBI in carrying this case out fairly? Okay. The same FBI that won't go after Hunter Biden for gun violations at the very least. Okay. Not to mention that they will not turn in a unclassified document to Congress, to the point where Christopher Wray is in contempt of Congress at this point and facing charges because he will not turn in this document that might implicate Joe Biden in some sort of a bribery scheme. It's unclear what it is, but the whistleblower said, if you look at this form, it's black and white. It's very clear. And the FBI does not want to turn that in. Why?
Well, hold on a second.
Dude, I'm telling you.
No. So
the FBI has been so unfair to Donald Trump.
You're right. No, I'm not going to argue that. But what I will argue is the veracity of your last statement, because that individual, the individual that was called, never showed up.
Well,
no, he never showed up, and also refused to testify under oath. So that's different, right?
He'd have to be public, though.
The document was never produced, and the individual said they did not want to testify under oath. And destroy.
But the document has to be produced by the FBI, and they're refusing to.
No. The initial documents by the whistleblowers and by the supposed. I'm talking about the whistleblower.
Yeah.
The stuff that supposedly pointed all this, the whistleblower doesn't want to testify under oath because they don't want to perjure. So I get it, right? No, I'm with you. I think right now there is, and as much as I don't like Donald Trump, there is definitely there is some fuckery when it comes to law enforcement and political entities right now. I think there is something going on, right? I agree with you with that. Fortunately, I think this is an OJ type situation, though,
How
where
so?
you got someone who did something wrong, but the law enforcement agencies that are working to what's it called to incriminate, to charge them, are basically throwing bloody gloves everywhere. You know what I'm saying? They're going too far with the case, just
You
like they
mean
did with
like
OJ.
the FBI's Mark Furman and Trump is OJ?
Yes, yes, that's the only way I can kind of think of it, because the FBI right now, yeah, they definitely have a boner for Trump. They want to fuck him, but I think Trump did fuck up though. Dude, some of the shit that Trump's done over these documents, including, the cameras that were supposed to watch the papers were flooded, and then when the video was recovered, they said, "Oh yeah, well, it wasn't pointed at the right place." They do show obstruction. They do show that the papers were moved around in places that they weren't supposed to. So I'm not trying to say that he should go to jail or whatnot for this. I'm not trying to say
Yeah.
that. But if you look at the letter of the law, he did break it.
Yes, but why him? You
Right. No,
see,
you're right. Why him? It's because they
why
hate
not
him.
Biden? Why not
Well,
Pence?
and the reason why is because both Biden and Pence played ball.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
think Trump really has a hard on for this, for power and control. And $2 billion loans, $2 billion slush funds from the Saudis. So don't
Or
get me
$5
wrong.
million bribery scheme.
You're right, dude. I'm not saying that right now Biden isn't supplying a fuck ton of weapons to Ukraine because his son was getting blown by hookers while doing coke
Yeah.
in Ukraine. I'm not saying that that's not what, we're doing this too. It's happening. But the problem is I think Trump's obstruction was so egregious, you know what I'm saying? So fucking
What?
out there. I really think I think he fucked up, dude. And I'm not saying the FBI isn't playing sides, but he did. I think, when
I mean, dude,
the what's
the
the saying? You
mishandling of
give someone enough
documents.
rope, they'll hang themselves with it.
Yeah, but look, the mishandling of documents. Okay, if that's illegal, why didn't Hillary get indicted? Why doesn't
Mm,
Biden get indicted? Why doesn't Pence get indicted?
this is true.
What
Well,
doesn't you know?
Pence, but no. Okay, look, I'll be honest with you. Pence and Biden don't belong in this category. Hillary does more so, especially with the email servers, right?
Yeah.
That's a better argument. Biden
I
and
mean,
Pence. I mean, fuck. I think even Obama. I think there's actually even Bush. All these guys apparently have an issue with not returning their paperwork. So I think this is a very, very, very big problem.
it
But
is. They're
the
they're
thing
they're
is,
using the justice system to imprison political adversaries.
right? And I'm not saying that that's not part of it, but I really think Trump fucked up too.
He couldn't have fucked up more than other people have already.
I don't know. I don't know, because the reason why is the level of obstruction that he is actually committing is pretty fucking egregious, man. It's like they were
How
moving
so
around.
though?
Well, they have video of people moving papers around and stuff whenever the FBI came. And then whenever he told them something was in a certain place, before they got there, it was moved. And apparently
Wow.
they have some testimony to that effect, that he asked for it to be moved. I really think
So I
you're
think there's an
right.
obstruction charge.
Yes, I think you're right. You're right. They are going after Trump hard in the paint. But also, I think he kind of fucked himself too. And he did do something wrong. And when you know what I'm saying? If you got someone coming at you,
But
especially the law, you got to stay fucking squeaky clean, man. And he did
Well,
it.
that's the thing, though. That's the thing. Like, if let's just say they've been after you for the last 4 years or whatever, since
Right.
2016. They've planted evidence. They've created fake documents and presented it to the court.
Well,
Wouldn't you
I
want?
mean,
They did.
I mean,
The Steele dossier was paid for by the DNC, and the FBI knew it, and they still presented it.
well, right.
That's fake documents.
I'm not right, and I'm not disagreeing with any of your statements, but I do think he fucked this one up.
Nah.
I think, dude, I think they've
If
been
you
trying to spitball to get something to stick, and dude, 7 fucking federal indictments. That kind of sticks, bro.
no, I mean, I'm sure. Hey, look,
7
there's
federal
enough.
indictments.
There are enough laws in the books to charge anybody for anything.
Well, okay, but
Okay.
I get your logic, but
There is.
but
If you want to stick it to somebody, you're gonna go to that thick ass, Code of Federal Regulations, and
right.
you're gonna look through every fucking line of that Bible-sized book and find something where you can charge somebody you don't like. All right.
I get it.
I
I
can
get
say,
what you're saying.
I can say, hey Ben, when you drove across state lines to Missouri and you had I don't know, a broken tail light. Well, that's a federal crime now because you crossed state lines. Okay.
I don't know, man. The
I'm pretty
Espionage
sure I can
Act,
go to the Code of Federal Regulations and find that.
bro. Espionage Act's been around for quite a while.
It's hardly ever used, and it's hardly ever used.
Yeah, it was being used on this one. That's some serious shit.
Exactly. It's used on this one.
Well, and I'm right, and I'm not trying to say, look, I'm definitely not trying to say that Trump is but and I'm not trying to say that they haven't had a hard on for him, but I do also believe he fucked up.
Oh yeah, who doesn't? Who hasn't
Right,
fucked
but
up?
I think the problem is I think, okay, and this sounds dumb, but the Washington elite, right? The deep state, when they fuck up, they know how to fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like years of corruption shows Biden and Pence like, oh, well, if they find out I stole something, feign ignorance and move on. Whereas I think Trump didn't have that. He was, I mean, let's be honest with you. He's done a lot of illegal things, in particular with business. And he's always found a way to hide, move things around, etc. And I think in this situation, he did the same. But when it comes to the good old boy club, the deep state, that's not how things are handled. So while I agree with you, I think there should be more federal probes on all these assholes because they are all fucked up. I mean, fuck, right? Right? To say that Donald Trump's the only politician that needs to get in trouble, well, that's just madness. You know what I'm saying? Because 98% of the rest of them do too. But they know how to fall correctly. And I think he didn't. And I think that's why they're pegging him for it. Because to be honest with you, he was always kind of an outsider.
Yeah.
So I think this is a big one. Huh?
That's disturbing, though, that they won't let an outsider run for president or be president.
Well,
I mean, things will never change. This country will never change. In fact, it may spiral downward because as soon as you try to do something good for the people,
right,
they're going to try to prosecute you. That's it. You're done.
I don't think he really did anything good for the people.
Dude, he did a lot of good. Look, lowest black unemployment. Okay. Great economy.
No. Well, hold on.
He protected the border.
Don't know I mean, either. He just
he did.
I would say that.
What? Remitted Mexico policy. I mean, those are all good things.
I mean, I don't think he did that either. But what I do know is I do think that he is in. I think this is the fight of his life. I think this is he needs to be very, very worried about these indictments. And he is. I mean, he's very, very worried.
I mean, General Petraeus, he got charged with something similar too, but he only got a probation.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I don't think he's going to jail. I mean, is he going to really get love from the homies? No. He's not going to get a shit pushed in, but he 100% is probably going to get probation. Something like that.
Here's the thing, though. I wonder if he'll plead guilty. Or no, he'll have a plea agreement with probation, or is he going to be dumb enough to fight it in court and go for the full 20 years?
Oh, he's going to fight it 20 years. Full 20 years. Full 20.
No way. Yeah. You don't think he's going to fight it? I hope he doesn't fight it in court.
Truth and
if the judge says, look, you plead guilty, we give you probation, or you can fight it in court and risk getting 20 years, because that's what the government does to you.
Oh, he's gonna fight.
They're gonna give you like the government gives you something super easy. Like,
yeah,
look, we don't want to mess with you. We don't, just pay a fine and you'll get probation, but you plead guilty. You got this on your record.
Yep, that's what they try to do with all those January 6th fuckos. Those guys were dumb. Every one of them was offered a plea deal. And they all said, no, American, I'm going to fight for my rights. And now, fuck, some of them are doing fucking 12 years, man.
Do you think, you think they got plea deals like Kush?
Oh, 100%. They're just like, look, dumbasses, take the deal. But these fucking dumbasses didn't. They tried to be like, oh, I'm going to win, because I honestly think they thought that, Trump was going to get their back. But he immediately turned around and ran away from them. Yeah, I don't know. I think I do think Trump messed up, man. I mean, honestly, and I'm not saying nobody else is messed up. I agree with what you're saying, but I think he fucked up so bad that they have what they need on him.
Yeah, like I said, I think there's if they wanted to bust him with something, they could. They could bust you with something. They could bust Pence with something.
Yeah, you're right.
But he's not part of the. And there's a problem, though. You see a two-tier justice system.
Oh, 100%.
The good old boys club, and then the regular person, and then Trump.
Hey, bro, you're I hate to break it to you, but we're two Mexicans talking about this. We understand that there's different legal systems for different people, but the reality is,
do you think
he stepped in the wrong? He stepped in the pool with the big boys, and I don't think it's going to work out for him, man. I don't. I think he's in trouble. I think this is, this is it. Or this could be what catapults him past Biden. You never know.
Well, let me ask you a question, because I haven't really heard anyone talk about this, and I don't have time to research it, man. I got two kids,
What's up?
I wanted to know, does this affect his eligibility for president?
Well, I think yes and no. So I know that the only precedents I've heard is that an individual ran for president while in prison, still received 1 million votes.
All right.
So in the event
that he can still run for president.
Yes. So in the event that you win, I guess the reality is you can pardon yourself. It becomes a constitutional quagmire, right? Because you wouldn't think, well, the forefathers wouldn't think that politicians, what they have become today, as bad as they are today. I guess they had more of a naive sense of what politicians would have been in this system. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm pretty sure the reality is he, as president of the United States, he could pardon himself.
Yeah.
And then continue his term. And I don't think anyone can do anything about it at all. So I don't know. We'll see. I think he is definitely in deep shit, though. 100%.
I mean, look, anytime you got the federal government behind you, whether it's warranted or not, you're in deep shit. Of course, they got infinite money to come after you. And I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
Yeah,
I really wouldn't. When the federal government, I mean, it's one thing that state and municipal courts fine, but the federal government, I don't think they even give you a pro bono attorney to how they say if you can't afford one.
I don't know. I don't know how that works. Honestly, to be quite honest, I literally have no idea how that works when it comes to federal like prosecution, stuff like that. So I don't know.
Civil and criminal litigation with the government is horrible. That's why I look, dude, if my son ever came up to me and said, Dad, Mom, I have something to tell you. I've been hiding this secret for a long time. And I'm like, what, son? What is it? It's like, I'm really embarrassed, Mom, Dad, but I want to be a lawyer for the government. Be like, no! I thought you were going to tell me you're going to be gay or something.
And we know what makes true fears. This is what keeps you up at night.
Yes, my
your son wants to be a lawyer for the government. But
hell no. No son of mine is going to be a lawyer for the government and put innocent people away in federal prison. No.
Well,
I did not raise a person like that.
Well, guess
I'd
what?
rather he hang out in Montrose all night long than going to be a government official. Okay.
Oh boy. Well, I tell you one thing. He
What's that?
definitely would be happier. But what I think is, I think we do have a whole setup. I think we have a whole different world coming up with this. I do see some serious issues with Biden. Well, not with Biden, with Trump. But we'll see. I mean, dude, last time he got grabbed by the pussy and paying off porn stars, nothing stopped him then. I don't think this stops him now. I still think we see a repeat. And just to kind of just start wrapping up this wonderful evening we've had, I think we should also take a look at the field of dumbasses that are running, right? I mean, so what do we have? So just to kind of let's just get a quick rundown. People running Republican. So you know what Republican candidates for president so far.
All right.
So we have we have Trump, DeSantis, Pence, Nikki Haley. Trying to get the contenders. There's a lot.
Right, cool.
Trump, Nikki Haley, of course, Mike Pence. We have Ryan Binkley, Dallas area businessman, non-denominational pastor. It's awesome. Doug Burgum. He is a former North Dakota governor, very conservative. Chris Christie, the great representative. Larry Elder. Oh boy. He couldn't beat Governor. He couldn't beat Newsom, but we'll see how that goes. Asa Hutchinson. Perry Johnson. Okay. He's a quality guru. Okay. Vivek Ramaswamy. This is an interesting guy. He's an investor and former pharmaceutical company CEO. Yeah, so good luck to that guy. Tim Scott. This is an interesting one. That's the South Carolina senator.
All right.
A black guy. Very, very. I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't put shit past Trump to throw him as a possible new vice president, right? So going from there, that's the ones that have declared that are good to go. And of course, you wrap up the usual suspects with Greg Abbott, Marco Rubio, Glenn Youngkin.
Abbott's going to run for president?
Well, you know, there's rumblings, right? There's always rumblings. Mike Rogers. You have a bunch of people that could possibly also go. But isn't this a little deja vu 2016?
Well, here's the thing, though. A lot of these people, they're not running to become president. They're running to become cabinet members or have seats of power. Secretary of State can come from the podium, you know?
Right.
So that's what they're vying for, really. They know Trump is going to win or DeSantis, depending on how this shit goes.
Right.
But, yeah, man, like, you know, the candidate from California, what'd you say?
The Larry Elder.
Larry Elder. Do you think he knows he doesn't have a chance? But he may have a chance of being Secretary of State.
Dude, he's really,
or
you know,
he may have a chance at an ambassadorship in Tokyo or something, you know? I mean, cool shit like that.
Yeah, maybe.
It's the closest you're going to get to a man in power is by running against him on the stage. You're not going to attack him, but you get to know him. You shake hands with him.
I'll tell you,
say, hey, look at Ben Carson.
Look at Ben Carson. True. Well, you know who threw that out the window?
Who's that?
Fucking Chris Christie. He's going after Trump. Oh,
Chris
man.
Crispy.
Chris. Oh boy, that's not very nice of
dude. Wasn't that sour though? Because they used to be like besties.
Well, I think apparently, and this is just conjecture, I heard that actually Chris Christie and Jared Kushner had severe issues with each other.
Oh, all right.
So yeah, it prevented him from ever really, you know, because he felt like he was being shortchanged the whole time. So that's the conjecture around that.
Yeah.
Pretty fucked up.
I don't know.
So who knows? But we do have a lot more candidates. I think there's going to be plenty more that will be jumping into the race. So it should be interesting. I wonder if we'll have the 2-tier debates with the haves and then the have-nots debate they had in 16. Remember those?
Do you understand what's going on here, though? The Democrat Party won't hold a debate between Robert Kennedy and Biden. They won't have anyone challenge Biden either. But the Republican Party will challenge their front runner, their party leader. Goes to show the two differences between the two parties, man. I think you should, definitely consider voting some Republican this time around. The Democrat Party doesn't care about you, but yeah.
Oh boy.
Just saying.
I wouldn't agree with this. I think the Democrat Party loves you as long as you donate a lot of money, and you talk the talk and walk the walk, because this is going to be an interesting election coming up, right? I mean, this is it, but let's be honest, it's going to be Trump versus Biden, and we have a rematch. The rematch nobody wanted. So, but I do think it's interesting. I do wonder how this large. I think if Trump can come out of this relatively unscathed, I think it makes him a stronger candidate, right?
Yeah.
So much better than Biden, who has just basically rejected the concept of even trying to hear, listen, or deal with other possible people.
I mean, the dude keeps falling, bro. I mean, and he blames the floor.
It is the floor. It moves.
He tripped at this Air Force Academy ceremony, and he looks down and he points to the floor like there's nothing there.
Bro, I hate to tell you this right now, but we're spinning at 11,000 miles per hour. Okay, it can make some people dizzy. All right, there's a significant amount of gravity.
You know
it's 33.27 meters or 32 meters per second on us at all times. So
you know what his staffers did, right? They
hugged him.
They limited his public appearances from 12 to 4 Monday through Friday. Nothing early in the morning, nothing late in the afternoon.
Well, I would do that also, because you can only hold up Bernie so long. Yeah, I mean, he's really fucking old, and if you're an Octarian, you really don't need to be leading anything. Hell, you shouldn't even be managing a Krispy Kremes. I mean, you just don't need to be president. But both people that will probably be running, and that everyone's gonna be voting for, both of them are Octarians. Will be Octarians in there.
Is it Octarian or octogenarian?
I don't know. Something like, maybe I think it's octogenarian. They're old as fuck. Yeah. 80-year-olds. They're octomoms.
Octomoms.
So either way, it's gonna be interesting, but we're gonna see. So we got a big field shaping up. We got a lot going on. We got fucking aliens cruising on by. Maybe the aliens are like, fuck this. We don't want to watch this bullshit election. We're coming down and we're cleaning house.
No, aliens are gonna be like, look, let's just let them destroy themselves. We'll come back in the next generation and see where they're at.
I don't think so, bro. I think they're like, oh, yo, these guys are breaking our shit. Like, the aliens are like, no. It's time to spank the shit out of them. So who knows? That maybe like our it's funny, there's a South Park, just right before we wrap up, there's a South Park where some aliens basically it was about Pinewood Derby racing.
Right.
And so like Stan's car was like, they stole some alien technology, and Stan's car was like going back in time. It was so fast. And before, I don't know if anyone knows, but when you enter these Pine Derbies, they literally have you sign something saying, I only use the parts in this kit. And they knew they were cheating. Well, it was a microcosm for everyone cheating on everything, which eventually got some alien killed. Well, what ended up happening was it was all ruse to try to show how, mature and the goodwill of a species was. And apparently Earth fucked up, because like they basically threw the alien under the bus and tried to get him killed for it. So being said,
one last thing, we're talking about how we got technology, right? And we're kind of working with it, and China got it, and whatever other countries. It brings me back to this episode of Enterprise, Star Trek. Did you ever see that? Perfect. And it goes back into it goes into the alternate universe where everyone's kind of evil, and you got the Empire and everything.
Right.
And they steal an alien ship and they use that for their advantage to destroy each other, basically.
Right.
I kind of think that's us, man. I think
Oh,
we're gonna
yeah.
take this alien technology and abuse it to kind of destroy each other.
Well, that's what we're doing.
Anyway.
And they're probably just like, okay, look, guys, we meant for this shit to kind of bring you some peace. Like,
But nah.
they're gonna there's gonna be like caution tape outside of our solar system. They were like, these guys are just dicks. Don't go by them, because we try to give them everything and they still fucking try to kill each other. So who knows? So we'll see. We'll see if
Dude.
our alien overlords
Yeah.
are just like, okay, you guys clearly cannot help yourself, so
Yeah.
we're done with this. So, but with that being said, we are going to allow you to help yourself to the rest of your evening, day, morning, your run, your commute, and we hope you enjoy it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I imagine Benjamin James, when he does the wonderful editing to this, will let you know how to reach us, or we'll do something cool. But if not, you can find us on Instagram as something skip the noise, something. And we have an email, which is also skip the noise _ tilde mark something else. And you can get us there too. But yeah, let us know if you guys have any show ideas or stuff like that. And just let us know. So you guys have a wonderful evening. Keep it real. Represent.